Hello everyone, this is Griffin Station back here with another Kill the Game If video, and in this video we are going over the 1.02 patch notes for Kill the Game If. And so this is going to be pretty long, so let's just jump right into this. For the first changes that they made bug fixes, which the three bug fixes are fix the voice library, which I don't know what really was the problem with the voice library, but I'm glad that they're fixing something with it. Fix story mode's scores calculating system. I don't know what was wrong with the calculating system as well. I think that the calculating system was pretty generous, but maybe it was just a bug of some sort, which, I mean, it is a bug fix, so hopefully it wasn't anything too big. I don't think they're changing the scoring system too much. We then also have fixed issues concerning the double KO in versus mode. I've never encountered a double KO. They're pretty rare, but I don't know what the bug could potentially be, but I'm glad that it's fixed nonetheless. We then have additions with this patch, which means adding more stuff, which we have with added a notification upon matching with an opponent in the ranked match lobby. This is pretty cool. We already sort of got a notification when we matched up with an opponent, but I am glad to see that we're getting an additional notification nonetheless. Then we have adjustments. This is the majority of this video. It states that character actions have been adjusted, so this is not only includes moves that the character does, but also just general changes to the characters. Global adjustments, first starting off, starts with demo scenes, appearance, victory, and fiber lost. It's fixed so that the stage particles don't appear within the demo scenes. Special moves, Senni Soul Sheets, Secret Arts. And after, we also removed a timing where special moves could be unleashed during the interval when a round ends, and fixed an issue where the volume is lowered after a character position is reset right after using a special move while in the training mode. Very specific, but a lot of times these very specific scenarios create some sort of weird bugs. Okay, so now we're getting into the actual character changes. We start off with Ryuko Scissor Blade. First off, her dash long range was changed. It was increased the length of the stun and adjusted the downtime aerial close range too. Then changed the action used from a tackle to a punch when canceling into a break from landing after activating the move in low altitude. Now, as far as the special break, Super Break, fixed an issue where the dragging in of some characters from the special breaks weren't working properly. These are all good changes in my opinion. We then have Satsuki Buffy. Her aerial long range 3 was changed so that the moves act as a finisher if the enemy has been slammed into the wall 3 times or more. So you can't really spam it. I'm happy for this change. We then have a special long range change. Unfortunately, the text is cut off, so we don't actually see what was changed with the special long range, but it was changed nonetheless. Next we have Gory, and he has quite a lot of changes. First change, adjusted so that 25% increase isn't reflected onto the initial regalia gauge during training mode. Seems like there's some bugs with training mode that they're trying to suss out. I am happy. I know that it's a lot of specific scenarios, but it's good to see nonetheless. We then have a reduce the lower attack power effect when there isn't enough DC. Interesting. We have ground sidestep change, which increased the invincibility time. Probably good because his sidestep is pretty slow. We then have regalia step, added a short invincibility period upon move startup while stepping left or right. And this is specifically on the ground. Obviously you can't step in the air. We then have the regalia step is now considered as a jump. That's actually pretty interesting. Fixed a bug that made any attack into a charged attack during the regalia step. And those are all the changes for the regalia step. For area close range in regalia, new move added, square in mid-air in regalia. We then have dash long range, alternate long range, which includes reduced the recovery time if the attack misses. The move now counts as a jump. We then have aerial long range charge, aerial long range, which is in regalia. The period when floating mid-air now counts as a jump. I'm actually super curious as to why they're changing it in this direction. If you have any idea, let me know in the comment section down below. Then his last change is the alternate aerial break attack, which in Goliath form added a wall slam effect to the attack. It is now possible to launch it in Regalia, and its damage has been reduced. So it seems like that they're nerfing his Goliath form a tiny bit, at least in the form of this alternate aerial break attack. Sonica Yama's changes are next, and the first change to him is all close and long range attacks aside from the initial strike. Attacks can now strike downed enemies. This is a pretty big buff to Sonica Yama in my opinion. We then have ground close range 2, remove the ability for the move to strike sidestep. We then also have ground close range left right finisher, increase the stun time after the attack is done. Aerial break, adjust the drop speed and the hit back effect when used as an alternate from the close range 4 attack. Lastly, for Sonica Yama, we have special break, remove the ability for the move to strike sidestep. So for the most part, this is a pretty big buff to Sonica Yama. They did alter some of his other stuff to make it so he would be not fully buffed, but buffed nonetheless. Next is Jakuzure no Known. The ground close range 1N, including the boosted version, was adjusted to hit back and downtime when the attack hits the opponent mid-air. Then we have aerial close range 1. The boosted version, the action prior to the attack activation, now has super armor, and the move can now hit dashing opponents. That's actually pretty big. Then we have downtime. Hit back, hitbox sizes have been adjusted. Jakuzure's dash close range, the boosted version, the action prior to the attack activation, now has super armor, and the move can now hit dashing opponents. Stabilize the hit combos done near a wall. Change the long range cancel into her long range aerial 3 move. And then for her aerial alternate close range, added as a cancel point when using her close range ground 2, up down, and long ranged aerial 1 to 2 moves. Aerial long ranged 1 to 2, sped up the cancel timing when canceling into the close ranged attack. Then her aerial long range 3, adjusted the hit back effect, and added the ability to cancel into her aerial close range 2 move. We also have a super attack long range adjustment, where it was fixed a bug where her reverb shots doesn't appear on the stage after using her missiles. Her ground close range 2 up down, jump cancel with Valor level 1 or more, changed so that the reverb shots on her from these moves react to a resonation move. Adjusted the hit back of the reverb shots that are on her from the moves. And this is changes made in correspondence to the fix to her long-ranged super. Then her Senni Soul Sheet's Secret Arts changed the reaction time of the reverb shots so that it works prior to 34F and extended the hits effectively to 34F. And I assume this means 34 feet, I could be wrong, but before this was pretty long ranged. If the opponent was pretty close to you, it wouldn't hit them. And so I am super glad to see that this is being changed so that the ultimate, the Senni Soul Sheets, will hit if the opponent is pretty close to you. Inumuta's changes are next. We start off with the ground homing dash, aerial homing dash. Fix a bug where certain cubes would lose its hit effect when using its homing dashes. Also fixed so that he can cancel into other moves even while his attacks are guarded. Then his ground close range 1FB was changed so that he can cancel from his aerial moves even while his attacks are guarded. Aerial close range 3 added an effect to his last hit that creates a cube similar to what he creates when he uses his long range aerial charge. Then his dash close range 1 increased the dash distance and adjusted the hitbox size, changed so that he can cancel even while his attacks are guarded, fixed a bug that had him face in an incorrect direction after using his step action immediately after an attack. And then dash close range 2 stabilized his second strike from its warp so it can connect properly. Then camouflage close range finisher fixed a bug where he could cancel even when his AG was at 0. Ground, long range 3, changed so that his attack doesn't hit immediately after its creation. Also adjusted the cube's hit back and the timing which its clones appeared. Aerial long range charge, adjusted so that the cubes fired would not weaken attack priority hit back effect with time. Fixed the move's sound, aerial long range 1 to 2, expanded the cube and clone's attack range. Dash long range, slowed the timing when the cube can hit opponents, also adjusted so that Inamuta's body has proper hitboxes while he's creating cubes. Camouflage ground long range 1, removed the wall slam effect as the cube's hitting ability, and instead added a feature where the clones would attack when opponents near him. Increased the damage output, and sped the cancel timing into his camouflage attack. Fixed so that it's used while on the ground, and then we have changes to the camouflage ground long range 2, camouflage aerial long range 2. Changed the cube's arc, removed the cube's hitting ability, and instead added a feature where his clones would attack the opponents near him. Increased the damage output, enabled the attack to hit downed opponents, and sped the cancel time into his camouflage attack. Camouflage long-ranged finisher. Changed the cube's arc, fixed a bug where he could cancel even with his AG was at 0. Increased the damage output and removed the wall slam effect. All break moves. Increased the knockback effect when his break moves initially hits. Special long range. Fixed so that all his clones made after his cubes hit are ground-based. That's actually a pretty big, I don't want to say nerf, but change to Inamuta. Overall, I think this is pretty balanced change for Inamuta as a character. Nui's changes are as follows. Aerial homing dash, changed so that she can't cancel out of a stun from her dash she does mid-air. Ground close range 1N, ground close range 1, left or right. Ground close range 1, up or down, aerial alternate close range finisher. For all of these different types of combinations, increase the damage output. Then ground close range 2 can now home and attack downed opponents. Aerial close range 1 expanded the hit effect so it can strike lower hitboxes. Aerial alternate close range 1 changed the cancel into her close range attack into her alternate close range 2 move. Long range alternate close range 2. Adjusted the distance of travel when using the attack sequence. Ground long range 1 adjusted the cancel timing into her close range move. Ground long range 2 adjusted the attack's travel distance and can now home and attack downed opponents. Aerial long range 1, when the clone immediately hits after it's created, the hitback occurs in the direction the clone was thrown. We also have aerial long range 2, when the clone hits immediately after it's created, the hitback occurs in the direction the clone was thrown. The clone's spinning attack can now home and attack down opponents. And now we have also ground alternate close range 1, aerial long range 1, dash long range, special long range, super long range. Fixed an issue where her shots would react out of design. Aerial X clone break, adjusted the hitback effect on her clone attacks. Fixed an issue where her clones acted out of design when using her ground or aerial break moves after her aerial X hits. And then finally for Nui, we have special close range, which adjusted the attack's travel distance and fixed a bug that prevented canceling from some of her moves. Ragyo is up next. She has a change to her ground close range 4, can now home and hit downed opponents, changed her warp position when used normally, and can cancel out of the move even when her uppercut attack doesn't connect. Also added a cancel to her close range aerial 1 move when the attack is done normally. Her aerial close range 1 reduced the damage output. Aerial close range 3 changed so that she can cancel into her aerial long range 2 move or her aerial break move even when falling. Aerial long range 2 slowed her fall, adjusted the hitback effect, and greatly increased the length of time her wires stay on stage. Changed so that all her wires disappear when one of her wires hit, and added a cancel into her aerial close range to move when her active forward started. Stop the dragging effect of a certain distance so that the opponent's body doesn't overlap with her shots. Almost done, we are at Ryuko Dual Blade. Ground transformed, long range 1, increase the downtime and increase the opening after the action is taken. Ground transformed, close range 3, left and right, adjusted the hit back effect. Ground break, slowed her fall after her homing dash. Special, long range 1, the shockwave's visual has been adjusted to better match the actual attack range. I feel that is a really considerate and great addition, and I would say a buff to her, but it should be just how it was in the base game. Special break, added a wall slam effect on its finisher move and increased the cooldown time needed to lift the hold on her SP gauge recovery. Fixed an issue where the dragging in of some characters from the special breaks weren't working properly. And finally, super break. Increase the finishing jump kick attack and increase the cooldown time needed to lift the hold on her SP gauge recovery, and fixed an issue where the dragging of some characters from the super breaks weren't working properly. Lastly, we have Satsuki Dual Blade. Ground, close range 3, expanded the hit range against opponents above her head. Aerial, long range 4, fixed an issue where her shots would disappear when used near the wall. Aerial, close range 4, left, right, Valor level 1 or more. Increase the stun time, being able to cancel into a move. Ground, long range 4, adjusted the hit back effect when the attack lands. Ground, long range charge. Increase the stun time until being able to move, and change the effect so that the opponents are blown back when the attack hits when the opponent is in the air. Added a cancel into her alternate close range move, ground move. Adjusted her stun time when she guards a projectile. And then aerial break, adjusted the hit back effect of her homing dash. And finally, special break, removed the ability to move to strike side steps. And these are all the notes that we have for Kill la Kill the Game If on patch 1.02. I know this was a lot, but if you want to read for any specific character, just go over any character that you didn't quite understand, I have the patch notes in the description down below. I don't know when Europe is getting this patch. It's produced by P-Cube Games, not Arc System Works, and so they aren't on the same schedule when they're releasing patches. I do know that also the patches releasing on different times can affect how each player matches up against another player. And I know this can be a little frustrating, just bear with it as Arc System and P-Cube try to get their schedules aligned in terms of publishing patches. The patch is live in the US on all consoles though, which are Steam, Switch, and PS4. And so if you are in the US or in Japan, you should already have patch 1.02. In Japan, it's patch 1.03, but it's the same patch. If you found this video informative or enjoyable, please leave a like, it'd be greatly appreciated, and it would also help other people find it. If you want to see more Kill la Kill the Game If coverage on this channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye.